I cannot see you guys. This is unbelievable.
Turn it around, you moron.
My God, this is unreal. I
Look at
am
it spinning
turning
around like
I'm looking at a bridge. I'm looking at a wall backdrops for something.
What are you?
Somehow I got
what kind of acid are you dropping, dude? I'm looking at you right now.
I know, but I cannot see you guys. So I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Pick the shit talk
here we go.
screensaver, which
I
you
got
have.
it. I just fixed it. I got it.
God, man.
Hey, everybody, it's Shit Talk Reviews. Dave's talking over me. Derek is the only guy who had his shit together today. We're very sorry. It's been an absolute catastrophe when it comes to tech issues this morning. So if this all falls apart, I would normally blame it all on Dave, but
I blame it on the green clouds that are in your two locations right now.
I'm still going to blame it on Dave.
I don't know. Listen, I don't know what's going on, but I could have sworn I just saw an image go right in back of me somewhere. Anyway, we'll have to review the tape.
It's not even noon, and these two clowns are fucking high as a kite.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you have no idea. And I'm still doing coffee, but let's get into Atreyu.
Yeah,
let's get into it. Please, finally.
Dave, it's your week. What do we got?
So this is interesting. When I found this, I think, John, I think you said you knew the band already. I wasn't sure about Derek. And
yes,
when I was listening to this, I felt it was a good curveball for you guys because I think there's a lot to discuss on this album. Let me just, band members, Dan Jacobs on guitar, Brandon Saylor on vocals, Travis McGill on guitar, Mark McKnight on bass and vocals, and Kyle Ross on the drums.
Let me stop you. It's Rosa.
Yep. Rosa. My apologies. Rosa. Yeah. So before we get into this, from Dan Jacobs, the guitarist, everything they've done in the past has come to this moment. They said they're on all cylinders in the studio. Their creativity and collaboration has been better than ever. And they are starting to sense that in their live shows. So I just thought I'd bring that up before we discuss this album, because it sounds like it's a band who's transitioned and kind of hit their groove. But we'll see how this goes.
Did you mention Brandon Saylor?
I did.
He did, but he called him Brandon Saylor.
I said solid.
Again, green clouds.
Okay. Here, yeah. Pop quiz, Dave. Between Brandon and Mark, which sings the clean vocals and which gets ugly and dirty with the vocals?
Bennett harder. Mark harder. Brandon more the other way. Yeah.
Well done. He did his research again.
Yes, sir.
Dave's back.
Yeah.
He's back.
Listen, I always come prepared, guys.
Well, almost.
But yeah, seriously, let's get into it, because this band really has a lot going on, a lot of different things in their music, some radio play, and then right to hard metal. So I'll be interested to hear especially what Derek has to say about this.
Well, let me interject. I don't know if you called out. Did you call out the album, the actual album, The Moment You Find Your Flame, or did we skip right over that?
I did not. No, I did not. It is The Moment You Find Your Flames. Yes. Sorry about that.
You found your flame this morning, man. I can tell, because you are not on your game. My God, man. Yeah, so I've been a fan. I actually got to review The Curse way back in the day. The whole album is about essentially a romantic vampire, or what happens when vampires fall in love. And I will admit that I never take Atreyu seriously. It is not serious music. It is a guilty pleasure for me. They're a metalcore band that's been around for quite a while. And, look, Bleeding Mascara is a song I've been listening to for a number of years. And every now and then when I want to get pumped up or happy, I listen to that. The Right Side of the Bed is another song that I really love. I love the huge chorus in it. and this is all from The Curse. And so going into this, I've always felt like Atreyu hit their mark with their first record, The Curse. And I went back, I listened to the Baptized from last year. John had asked to do that, much heavier record. Yep. Going through this record, it felt very much like a much more of a commercial, exhibition, if you will, trying to be heard more. I heard some repetition in terms of structure of songs. Immortal on this record was, obviously is the big radio hit. It sounded a lot like underrated from Baptized. It was like almost the same song, just with different words. So did I love it? No. Is it what I expect from Atreyu? Yeah. I mean, this has been pretty standard radio rock with hints and elements of metalcore. Some killer guitar solos throughout their history, and that's no different here. So it's a good album. I enjoyed it. It's Atreyu. So The Curse sold 450,000 copies. It was in Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the movie, and look, it was their high watermark. I mean, they have never really gotten back to The Curse, and I thought at the time when that album came out that these guys they took the world by storm, and then they've kind of like they did this with The Curse, and then they've gone like this. Their career, they've bounced around record labels. They never really took that next step up. They've been on Tribunal, they've been on Victory Records, Hollywood, Roadrunner, and now they're on Spine Farm. So I'd love to see them be able to take that next step. I think that's what the attempt is here with this album, is to get more commercial airplay. And I will tell you that there's no doubt in my mind that Immortal is a song that could take them a long ways. I could see that song playing during, NFL Sunday, when the producers grab it.
There you go.
I could see it. Yeah. WWE, WWF, all the Ultimate Fighting bullshit, which I don't even know what it's called. I just think it's ridiculous. But that song is, for them, could be, played in all those different avenues.
I had, it was interesting. I had an Avenged Sevenfold flashback when I was doing this review. Because if you go back, right, Avenged was so different. Kind of like this band, it was heavier and heavier. It's gradually, this almost sounded like an experiment for me because I went back and listened to their other stuff. This had mix of very hardcore sound mixed with severe radio play. Derek thought Immortal was the big radio hit on this album. I thought it was right out of the gate good enough. Sounded almost like, I love the song. It was a great opening. But man, did it sound like a metal song. And then around the 2-minute mark, it gets real heavy and aggressive, and then back to that radio type song. So I thought Good Enough would be the big hit for radio play. But there were spurts through this album throughout. Every song, Immortal, the 2-minute mark, it got really heavy and then died off. The song Gone, same thing. Capital F, thunderous entrance, and then it just took a drastic turn for me. So it was a little too much going on, a little bit like Avenged Sevenfold, where they said, we're going to try something different. Like all these bands, we feel, on top of our game, so we're entitled to do something different. It just didn't work for me,
It is definitely a wide record, but I think it's a pretty approachable record. It's accessible. It's a little on the heavier side, not quite heavy enough for me, but I get why they have a massive fan base because it's accessible. It's not so ugly and brutal and violent that you can't have it going in the car on your way, taking the family out to dinner. But it's a good record. As Derek said, I agree. Immortal is a big radio play. But there's some good stuff on it. To say it's not heavy enough for me is not to imply that I don't like it or that there's things on there that I don't like, because there is a lot of stuff I like. God Devil is a great song. Capital F, like you said, Dave, it comes out heavy. There's good stuff here, and these guys can play. Their performances are great across the board.
A couple things. So I always find it to be a cop-out when you hear a band during the chorus take one song and say that word
The one word, the
one
single
word, and then have it go up a couple octaves and draw it out. And they did that with Immortal, just like they did with Underrated on Baptized. But I think for this one, it was produced with such an accessible sound that there's just no way that the masses aren't going to like gravitate towards that song. And look, I have no problem with it because Atreyu was brutally heavy when they first came out. And, I think we'd be absolutely remiss if we didn't talk about Alex Carr, Varkastas. I hope I said that. I did not say it correctly, but he left the band and he's in Bleeding Through singing for them. And he was the meat and potatoes guy, the beefy, crunchy destroyer, vocals. And it's missing that. For me, it's missing that. And that's why I really appreciate the material from early on, is because it had that dynamic of a really fucking heavy 1 second and then really melodic the next. And at the time, that was the rise of Killswitch Engage in 2004. That was the rise of this whole really be really heavy and then be really melodic. And it didn't matter if you were really melodic during the chorus or the bridge of the song, as long as the melodies and the heavy were trading off. That's missing for me. Alex's vocals are missing. And they really had nowhere to go from there but to go more commercial when Alex left the band.
For me, I definitely agree. Their heavier stuff are the earlier albums. Baptize is, as we said, a heavier record than The Moment You Find Your Flame. But we're not taking sides here. It's not about that. But yeah, I do agree with Derek that I prefer the earlier stuff. It's just got a bit more grit to it. It's a bit uglier. But I do like the melodic stuff. I've always liked the melodic stuff, which is funny coming off the heels of Humanity's Last Breath, which has little to no melodic in it. But there is a place for that. I think it does make things a little more accessible. And while I like heavy music, I do like Room to Breathe in there. And bands like Atreyu can do that.
That was the problem.
Fucking polished too, man.
That was the problem for me on this album. What Derek said before, the heaviness on this album, you just said it too, is awesome. But the problem was it came in spurts, and I don't like that. You're listening to a song like Gone, and the first minute is just in your face heavy, and it takes a complete nosedive, and then there's spurts of it again. And that's what this whole album to me sounded like. There was so many spurts of greatness, like how this band should sound. And then they took that complete nosedive out of nowhere on some of these songs, and it sucked my energy right out of it.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because of all the, people talk about stuff, they all say you love the spurts. Sorry.
Well played, John. Well played. It was smooth, very smooth.
I couldn't help myself.
What's funny is I actually liked Gone, and the reason why is it was as close to the older material that I heard on this record. Crazy good guitar solos. When it went heavy, went heavy. I really liked the melodies in that song. So for me, that was the standout track, and I know we're going to do standout tracks. But I really enjoyed that a lot.
And that could have been a radio song. You could hear that on the radio for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What was interesting is then there's, you turn of a dime, there's a power ballad. I Don't Want to Die is a power ballad. I mean, all I could see was Tawny Kitaen, which I always see Tawny Kitaen in any power ballad. It's just, I see her on top of a car. The day she died was a sad day for Derek, but the reality is that
and car hoods nationwide.
And car hoods, yes.
That's funny. That ballad sounded like Creed to me. It almost had like a Creed tone to that song. It was a very chill song. Yeah.
I will say that again, and I feel like I'm defending Atreyu to you, Dave, but this is the Atreyu that's been there since the beginning. They have been melodic and radio friendly 1 second, and then just brutality the next. And there's a dark side to them. There's this vampire-ish, Halloween-ish thing. I did like some of the synth on this album, the organ. It felt very Halloween. The cover was very Halloween. I'm going to Halloween Horror Nights and bringing up it again on this podcast. This is an album that could be played at the Halloween Horror Nights and fit right in perfectly.
I mean, I knew the background and did my research on that and what they've played. Just the point for me was, like I said, it was an Avenged Sevenfold project. They tried it, it just didn't work. Plain and simple.
Derek, you mentioned the synths and the keys. Here again, here's another band that's taken a few different genre-based elements like heavy music and synths and squishing them together. We talked to McKeenan from One from the North. There's another guy, took the electronica and the metal, crammed it together. Veil of Maya takes, maybe a little less, but some electronica and some metal, crams it together. And I think Atreyu does it. Sermon. And I think Atreyu does a nice job of that, of bringing in some of that synth. And again, it just makes it that much more accessible to that many more people.
Well, electronic soundscapes are definitely I would say the trend right now, layering that in there. And they, look, that was also something that was a little bit different on this record versus Baptized, is a little bit more electronic in there.
For sure.
Look, just to call a spade, I'm sure that the commercial success that they had early on, ending up in movie soundtracks, they're trying to get back there. And why wouldn't they? The meat and potatoes, vocal guy, the knuckle dragging vocal guy, Alex, left the band. He's no longer with them. He's doing his own thing with Bleeding Through. So the only place for them to go is to try to get back to that commercial success. I would say to them, if they were sitting in a room and if they cared what I had to say, is I would go full commercial, leave the really heavy shit at the door, because I love the heavy shit, don't get me wrong, but the trade-off for people like Dave, who either want to have Panama or they want to have meat and potatoes, it doesn't work. You can't have both sides of the fence. That's the Jekyll and Hyde on this record for many it fails. That's
how the songs felt like to me, Heckle and Jive. It's a perfect example, because a song would start, and for me, it was like, okay, hit the reset, boom, reset button. Song sounds completely different. Hit the reset button.
I'm stuck on the Heckle and Jive.
Yeah, you're so fucking baked. It's hilarious. My God,
whatever it is,
put your eyes up like this.
But you're right up there. This whole album felt like it was just a reset button hit every 30, 40 seconds. It had no flow. Maybe if it had more flow for me, I would have liked it more, but I don't know.
Like we said, it's a very approachable and accessible record. It's very radio friendly in a lot of places. And I think what's interesting about what they did on this album is, if you like the more melodic side of things, there's something there for you. If you like a little electronica, it's there. If you like a little bit of heavier stuff, it's there. And I can see why they have the massive fan base that they have, because there is appeal on a lot of different fronts. And in that regard, they did great with this record. They are going to attract a lot of people, crossover fans from different styles, because
it's a radio album, John.
It's a very radio friendly.
There's 3 or 4 songs on here that could be on the radio easily.
Yeah, absolutely. What do we got for standouts?
Okay, standouts. Let me see here, John. Let's go to Derek while I find my glasses.
Yeah, so on that front, we're gonna go with Dawn. For me, it was as close to the material that I go back to, which is The Curse. Love the solo on it, love the chorus. It felt kind of it's just a fun track all around. And again, I'm going to say this: there is fun music, and then there's music to take seriously. Atreyu has always been a party band. You do a whole entire album on being a romantic vampire and having lyrics talking about protecting you forever, and saying things like we'll fuck you just for the taste. I mean, shit like that. Like, come on, like, you can't take it seriously.
Would you say that's the generally accepted viewpoint about Atreyu?
I think so. I think that it's a fun show. I mean, even look at their videos for this record. It's it's goofy. It's them goofing around. They're like with their heads bobbling with skeletons. They do not take them. It's a good fucking time. They go out, they get their dick sucked, even if I don't know if they're married or not. That's what they're doing. They're drinking, partying, getting their dick sucked, and putting on eye makeup and having a good fucking
Come on, Derek. It's a family show.
Is it? Oh.
I don't know. Probably not. I have to put the little explicit when I post our shit. So probably not.
Well, we are called Shit Talk Reviews. So
whatever. John, for me, it was God, Devil, great song, loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And capital F was one of my favorites. Those were the capital F was more heavier, if I remember right, a little more, one of the more heavier songs on there. So those two for sure.
God, Devil is one of mine, and I have to say, Immortal was another standout for a lot of the reasons that we brought up. It's a very accessible song. Is it my favorite kind of music? Not really, but I get it. And I see, like I said, for the third time in this conversation, it's a very accessible piece of music. Yeah. It's radio friendly. People are going to like it because it's a well done song. So those are mine. Should we put numbers on it?
Go ahead. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. For me, it was a solid C. I always, again, what I look at is old material, especially with the band that I still listen to The Curse a lot. It's a fun record. That's their high watermark. That one I would have given a 9. This one is, a 7. It's okay. It's not great.
Yeah, I gave it a 7.75. And I'm a little higher than you, Derek, because I think when we rate records, we have two different metrics to look at, or two different metrics that can be looked at: personal preference and then a more objective viewpoint of the record. Objectively, it's a good record. The performances are great. The production is really clean and slick, and it's really accessible for people. So in that regard, it would get a higher score from me. On the personal preference, it's not really my thing, so I would bring that score down a little bit. So I'm right around a 7.75 or an 8. But again, it's still a well-done record.
To defend my position, again, I brought up, I find it to be a cop-out when you take one word in a chorus and say it and then just have it go up a couple octaves. Yeah. I can't stand that. And when you go back and you listen to, again, The Curse, there is not that going on. There's some big melodies and big choruses that hit that are really, really good. And for me, that's a cop-out. Again, that's why I gave it a lower score. Is their big hit? That's fair. It's just boring. It's just boring for the talent level that they have to do that. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you at, Dave? There's no doubt. Like what he just said. I mean, this band has tremendous talent, and they've proved that in the past with their previous material to this. So, just a phenomenal band. I think they reached on this. I think they just tried different things. For me, it didn't work. For others, it might. If you want to turn on the radio and have your convertible going and listen to some of these songs, great. You want to go to a roller rink and skate around with your friends to some of these songs, that would be great. So, it just didn't go back to how heavy and the potential. There was flashes of it on this album, but it wasn't throughout the album. So I gave it a 7, and I gave it a 7.5.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So we keep talking about the fact that we're going to Boston a little later this month. We're going to go see a Death Ray Vision, Cavalera Conspiracy, hang out with all those guys. And we're hoping to get some ice time for our own David J. and Keith Bennett from Death Ray Vision, who played hockey back as a kid too. So if we make it happen and get that ice time, Immortal, we're going to have them pump it through the entire arena.
Well, I want to see Dave and you just go out on the ice and hold hands together and screw the ice. Let's go to the roller rink.
Well, I said roller.
Hands and skate around.
That's what I said. I said roller rink.
Yeah, it's a roller.
You won't catch me out there. I have a hard enough time walking upright in a straight line. No, you put anything under my feet, I'm done.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, great music for that type of environment. You know what I mean? On this album, at least.
Listen, if you're new to Atreyu, go back, listen to The Curse. John like Baptized, go listen to that.
Love Baptized.
Their earlier work prior to 2016, it's all good. But The Curse for me is the high water mark, and I guess for John, it's Baptized. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Yeah, that's a fair statement.
That's fair. Right?
Yeah. So overall, a good record, pretty respectable scores from us anyway. Not that we matter, but yeah.
Right.
Well, listen, for next week.
John, can I just say something real quick? Sorry.
If you must.
It was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Thank you. I just wanted to clarify that.
The green cloud is wearing off.
I will be sticking with Heckle and Jide as we move forward in this. Nor will I let you forget it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So for next week, I'm actually vacillating between a couple of different albums. So we're going to keep that on lockdown, and I'll let you guys know when I make that decision. So our three fans are just going to have to wait, and it'll be a surprise when we post up next week.
Speaking of three fans, just a big shout out to our number one fan, Kate. Thank you.
And
of course, Country Time Lemonade, John. Any updates?
I've been enjoying it here today in the midst of our technical issues. It's the it's the only thing that has kept me level today.
Yeah.
Because certainly talking to you guys has not been helpful. And
it's not just for the summer, John, as you know.
Can I just interject a couple things? Thank you to Fat Beard Street Meat for sponsoring us officially. It's up on the website. If you are interested in sponsorship, let us know. Again, right now, there's no money involved. We just want to put your name out there. Again, we are looking to just do charitable work. We do this for fun. We have real jobs that pay our bills. If we are able to help charities along with helping people find cool new music, then we've done our job. And if you have a laugh at some of our social media stuff, then great too. The second thing is we do on our website, which is shittalkreviews.com, there is a button. You'll see a microphone in the lower right-hand corner. You can click on that. You can leave us messages on there. Feel free to leave us messages. It could be anything from insults right on through to suggestions for albums. Yeah. And it is recorded, and we can put them on this podcast. And we would love to do a mailbag. So I'm going to put some stuff out there about social media on this week. We'd love to get recordings and have you guys involved in our podcasts, our episodes moving forward.
Indeed.
Very cool. Yes,
well,
sir.
anything else we need to touch on?
No.
Well, you guys got to go and toke it a little more.
Derek, maybe you should go take a bath after this broadcast.
Yeah, you suck today, man. It has been absolutely. Technically, you've been awful. Everything about you wasted it at 45 minutes of my time. Now I got to go later in the day to go grocery shopping for the family because you fucked around. Some of
that was John's fault too.
It wasn't my fault. I was just dealing with the problems. Yeah. That's fair. I'll take the hit for the group. I apologize. All right. Well,
very good.
On that note, I'm sad and depressed, and now I'm going to go cry myself to sleep because Derek's a big me. Because Derek's he's a big meanie face.
Yeah,
you're a big zero. You did a goose egg today.
You guys have a good few days off. How about that? You know.
Enjoy the Labor Day weekend. Stay hydrated.
Yes, sir. See
All
you
right,
guys.
we'll see you, boys.